going to do that one. Okay. At certain points, I'll probably ask you to turn your sound off just so we don't have a lot of interference. And other times I'm going to ask you for some information for each of you for part of the ceremony. So here we are. We began 2020 with a full moon in Cancer, and we're closing 2020 with a full moon in Cancer. So we're completing a cycle, which is really great to know after we've gone through all the trials of this year. And many people are talking about, while the Aquarian age officially began a while back, that we're now moving more into it as we hit February of this year. We'll also be experiencing the Chinese New Year, the year of the ox, which should be better than the rat, I hate to say. But
that's my...
I know it's a tough one. Your Chinese new animal, yeah.
Yeah, it's an ox.
Right, yeah, it's more steady, you know. So I'm hoping that will be a good influence. And each year I've given the year a theme, and this year the overall theme was creating a new world, uncovering deep truths for the evolution of humanity. And I think we succeeded. And so next year, I'm calling restructuring reality, release of old forms, and embracement of new equitable systems. So that's I want to mention to you, I just finished the moon calendar for 2021. And if anyone would like to have a copy of that, I can email it to you. If I don't have your email, and I may not, send me a message on Facebook or put it in the chat, and I'll go in and check it later. And that way I can send it to you. And it includes not just the quarter moons and the full moons and moons, but also some ceremonial dates for different faiths and different spirituality and when they're celebrated. It'll give you the time that daylight savings stops and ends, or ends and begins, and just some other good information. So I try to get that out every year for people who are interested. So let's see what we're looking at here. We're looking at both of these. The sun is in Capricorn now, the moon is in Cancer. So we have cardinal signs. The cardinal signs are the ones that begin a season, and we've just moved into winter. So Capricorn is cardinal and it's feminine, and Cancer begins summer and it's feminine. So we've got some feminine influence, which could be a softer way to end this year, hopefully. And I like that a lot. What else do I want to tell you about it? It's kind of time to clean house in a way, so that we have whatever detritus we have or whatever things we've felt about 2020. If you've ever gone to a burning bowl ceremony, it might be good tomorrow, if you've got a thick bowl or something and some paper, to just write some things down that you want to let go of and then just consign them to flame. We used to use flash papers in one of the ceremonies that I did in New Mexico, and that was fun because you just flick it in the air and it, just dissipates, which is really nice, but that's a good thing to do. The World Peace Meditation we're going to do, it talks about bringing New Jerusalem as a shining temple from the heavens. And I don't believe that's an edifice. I believe that's a mindset, that it's bringing this fifth dimensional energy down here. There's so many references to physical structures in the Bible, but I really believe that it was metaphor. It's like when Jesus said to Peter, upon this rock, I build my church. I mean, that was what the Bible said, but I think it was on this foundation of belief. I can build my spiritual path. So, we have different ways of looking at things. I think for a lot of people, there's been fatigue. There's been division this year. Part of our task in the next year is going to be repairing the divisions. And some of those are going to be hard to repair. And others, if we can begin to just talk about the things that we can find commonality for, we may be able to restore those relationships. But some of them, are too far apart for us to do anything with. So I understand that. The other thing that we want to focus on is really boosting our immune systems, because it's not just the fear of COVID-19, but it's that with all of the stress that we've been under, we could have adrenal fatigue from this year. And so I would suggest a really good idea to start rebuilding your immune system, however that works for you. Some people like glandular meats for that. Some people want vitamins. You'll choose the thing that resonates the best with you. It would be a good idea to just kind of maybe even do a fast for a day, cleansing, and then start rebuilding so that you're good and strong. So let's see. What we're going to do first is we're going to do a calling in ceremony, and many of you are familiar with how I do the calling in ceremony. But for those of you that haven't ceremonied with me, I do the east and then the west because it opens what's called the wall or the magic. And then I do the north and the south. And then we do above, below, and within. So we'll begin, and I'll just, wherever you are, I represent the elements that exist where we are. Where I am in Las Cruces, New Mexico, the biggest mountains, earth, are east of us. They're the Oregon Mountains. West of us is the Rio Grande, so I give that water. North of us, if we get any air from Canada, we're going to call that air. And south of us is Mexico. And of course, the heat begins to increase as you get closer to the equator. So wherever you are located, those in Bellingham, I think Mount Baker is probably your east, and your west is the Bay, and north is Canada, and south is Oregon. So, but you'll find that. So we're going to begin by doing a little rattle. Focus on the direction east, which is the direction of beginnings. We call out to spirits of the east, the visionaries and forces for creative change. Come into our circle this night. Help us to embrace all of our talents and our abilities. Guide us with your light to open our eyes and picture a new world. Let clarity, wisdom, and illumination direct us to others for creating think tanks and salons via the interweb, sharing that we will be inspired to greatness. Let us revisit the old writings of the masters whose wisdom is still relevant today. Help us to cull through the wisdoms being presented until we discover the one that vibrates and best matches our being. May we honor the element in our locale. I'll be honoring Earth, most prevalent. Gift us recognition with new sight to view beyond what this Earth experience seems to be and what opportunities it truly offers. Winged ones, eagle, butterfly, dragonfly, blue heron, hummingbird, teach us to lighten ourselves that we may shed false burdens and alight on the golden threads of a dawning world. And so focus for a moment as if you could see this beautiful golden energy that's beginning to come down into the earth plane. And the places where we're seeing some wonderful sky pictures, and we're seeing the northern lights and things that remind us that we are light beings and we're a part of that. So this is also the direction of beginnings, and we're ending one year and beginning another. So you might just pause for a moment and think about what would be the most important quality that you would like to embody moving into 2021. May light, peace, love, consciousness, and harmony abide in all of us. And so it is. And then we turn to the west. Direct your attention to the west. Spirits of the west, guides that move us through the illusion, help us to soften our focus so that all illusions become transparent and we are released into the nothingness from which they came. Teach us to connect our Nagual threads so that we indeed build the rainbow bridge between the worlds. Let us take time to examine our lessons of our life, gleaning wisdom from those that have most impacted us. Allow us sufficient introspection to complete this veil lifting work, and finally give us the strength to finish our task here and become free of encumbrances. Allow us to honor the element that is best represented in our location. May the dream initiators under this Neptune conjunction visit us in our sleep like muses and fill us with instructions for completions. Lion, be our animal guardian this night. Help us to stand tall and majestic as examples for others for whom life is bending or breaking them. Gift us the energy of transformation and the fortitude to see this journey through to its natural unfolding. May we dream those dreams that never were and say, why not? And so in the quiet, directing the west is the direction of completions of the veils of illusion. And the dream initiators, let us invite a new dream, a new picture, a picture of beauty and joy and serenity. And allow us to bring in those guides that particularly work with us in the West, helping us move each of those veils away so that we see truth. May light, peace, love, consciousness, and harmony reside with us this night. And so it is. Now we direct our attention to the north, the direction of the ancestors. This is an important time to direct the attention of the ancestors. A lot of the ancestors are regaining lands that were lost. They're getting elected to offices in the government, which is wonderful. So let's invite that in. Spirits of the North, our ancestors, come with us this night and join each of our circles, whispering your knowing and experiences that we may recognize the work you've done and where we are to extend that baton to those who will come after us. Let us more thoughtfully take steps on the lands you walked on, knowing that footprint is the map we are to follow. As we acknowledge the fallow period of winter, may we touch the barren soil in a new, more conscious way, and know by its feel the history of all who've toiled to seek sustenance and life on earth. May we find a bit of ground soil and make a mud poultice to place on our bodies in remembrance of others whose fires and dances came before us. May we choose to be cleansed, purified, and renewed in body, in mind, and spirit, in thought, in word, and in deed. Let gentleness and sweetness be the key words we use to summon our destiny. Awaken our luminous bodies that we may walk upon this earth enlightened. White buffalo, may we seek the truth in the stories and your eyes of that promised 1,000 years of peace. Kindly remind us that we are an integral part of manifesting that reality on this earth now. As we acknowledge the fullness of the moon, may we remember the circles and cycles, the seasons, and the fullness of this human vehicle. Let us continue the work in grace and dignity. And in the north, concentrate on calling in an ancestor or a guide that will show you the way to move into this new year, to move into a new world that we create as the old world is dissolving. Light, peace, love, consciousness, and harmony be with us in circle this night. And so it is. And finally, we direct our attention to the south. Spirits of the South, faith protectors and guardians of innocence, restore our wonder this night. Let us joyfully anticipate the changes that will move us closer to true fulfillment, magic, and deep, abiding peace. Whichever passage we are in now in the life cycles, let us be accomplished by working with fire. As we're able, let us feed a virtual or real fire the twigs of our past, representing the lessons of this lifetime, and pay homage. May growth, trust, and love prevail here in our circle. Let no acts of love and forgiveness go unsaid. Let us take actions to express ourselves and no longer hold within those words from others. Spiritual warriors are empowered by loving and forgiving. And so let it be with us. And as all these releases transpire, help us to become detached and come into balance. May the genuine, feminine, and playful spirit of Otter Woman join us tonight. Help us to understand the physical vehicle and express loving kindness to this bodysuit. Guide our footsteps as we gently walk our pathway, gaining strength and momentum along the way. Let us let go of fear and uncertainty. Grant us faith and trust to acknowledge who we truly are, and gift us with the grace to celebrate our own pathways and those of others we may not understand. And so in this direction, I invite you to call up your little undomesticated being that still resides within you, and to invite that spirit of wonder and enthusiasm and joy and anticipation of good to metaphorically move into our circle, so that we remember this is a magical place and that we can restore the magic by our intent. May light, peace, love, consciousness, and harmony prevail. And so it is. And then we direct our attention upward to the above direction. Father Sky above, provider of the sun, moon, and stars that remind us of our origins, shine your light on this gathering that we may be illumined. Divine Masculine, gift us the harvest of our experiences and greater illumination under the influence of the full Cancer moon. Honor our tribute to you. Show us the light of our true selves. Bless us with upliftment. And imagine that we're outside under a beautiful canopy of stars with the full moon shining, and that perhaps we're looking up and we're looking at a constellation that we're always drawn to, and that somehow gives us strength and purpose and reminds us we came from the stars and we return to the stars. And then we direct our attention downward wherever your feet are. Imagine that you're standing outside in the dirt. Mother Earth below, provider of all that sustains and nourishes our earth walk. We ask that you gift us a strong foundation and you forgive our unconscious acts upon you. Divine Feminine, teach us to honor, acknowledge, and connect with the animals, the plants, the minerals, the Devic and angelic kingdoms, elemental being, and humans of all persuasions. Guide us on this earth walk that we may walk in beauty and become earth stewards. Bless us with seasons to grow by and an understanding of your needs. And more than ever, it's good for us to continue to be concerned about the earth, to promote those people that are working toward repairing the damage, and in our own way, each in our own way, to become more conscious of our use of the natural materials and our footprint on the planet. And so it is. And we put our hands over our heart as we call in the spirit within. We call on our inner selves to move us in the direction of peace. As we place our hands on our hearts, let us feel the warmth and support that our inner selves always offer. Let us recognize the goodness and wholeness within that is our given right and claim it. Grant us an ever-increasing ability to unconditionally love, accept, understand, forgive, and accept both ourselves and others. Grant us patience with ourselves and others. Let us renew the quest for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We ask that our journey toward more peace within spill out and overtake our exteriors, that we are spiritual beings having material experience of the highest order. And so it is. And we close the circle with spirits of the East. We've come full circle, and thank the gatekeepers of the East, the West, the North, the South for granting us support today. May a symbolic fire be lit by each person, that personal transformation will transmute our vision of planetary change, and the oneness will be realized. So now if you have your candle, we're going to light our candle or our flame. The downside of doing this on the internet is I can't show you everything, but this is the candle that I light, has a little angel on it, and it is lit. And I'm going to invite you to just take a moment to look into the light of your candle, to see the aura around it, to look into the colors of the blue and the orange and yellow, and to ask that light to begin to transform anything in each of us that is now ready for transformation. Understanding that when we master energy and fire, we become spiritual beings walking on the earth plane, but not of the earth plane. It's like looking at the moon here with all of the aura around it. And then I've asked you to have some water with you and a little towel. And if you had essential oils, you might put them in it. So we're going to each dip our fingers in the bowl and gently wash our hands. And then we're going to say together, I prepare myself for releasing of the old inhibiting forms.
For releasing of the old.
I prepare myself for releasing of the old inhibiting forms
And thoughts,
And
and thoughts,
and moving cleansed into a beautiful new world.
and moving cleansed into a beautiful new world
That we will create with one another
that we will create with one another.
that we will create with one another.
and then we'll focus on water, how gifted we are even here in the desert to have water, that we can wash our hands. Those of us that are in Las Cruces have not seen much water this year. So did any of you put essential oils in? I put a mixture of different oils. I put some copaiba, which is copal in oil form. I put a little amber, and I put some sacred mountain, and I think one other, all very spiritual, but having different scents. So I'm aware of different scents. And I was out of rose, but I put something in it that had something near rose. So let us just pause for a moment and think about how important water is, and that we know that it's time for us to really conserve it and use it well. Our country has really taken a lot of materials from other countries and resources, and it's time for us to begin to be accountable for our resources and the preservation of those. So let us just invite a higher consciousness about water and be thankful. And when we drink a glass of water, say thank you. And when we shower or bathe and cleanse ourselves, we want to be reminded to say thank you of this precious element. And we know that we have flow in our body through our blood that is similar to water. And then did some of you bring either earth or sand with you? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each of you, because I'll show you, I have some sand, but I'll show you what we're going to do. So I'm going to ask you to tell me a color that represents your earth or your sand. So we'll start with V,
Blue.
blue, okay. Heather,
It's brown.
brown, okay. Lynn,
I have some pink sand upstairs.
okay, all right. Michael Ann,
Deep brown, dark earth.
okay. And what about Brooks?
Black.
Black, okay. Okay, Nancy,
I'm gonna say like a lavender color, only because of the candlelight. But I'll take it.
okay. All right, Glenda,
Gray and white.
what was the first one?
Gray and white sand.
Gray and white, okay, great. And Mr. John,
Dark brown sand.
dark brown, and what about Jessica?
How about light gray, the hint of purple?
Okay. And finally, Sig,
Well, I have a bottle of green sand for a craft project.
okay. I'll show you what I did with the sand. I went to, one of the, craft stores, and I chose kind of a rose color and green because for me that represents both the etheric heart, the rose color, and the green of the physical heart. And so I just kind of started making a little tier of this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to focus on sand or dirt. And I want you to imagine that you have this vessel in front of you. And then we're going to go around the circle. So I'm going to invite you to remember what you said. Because we know that each time when the ocean's tides ebb and flow, sand on the beach is changed. And that's also true of water that's flooding and then recedes. Patterns that existed at low tide are washed clean. As waters recede, a brand new picture emerges. As each of us metaphorically pour the earth materials representing our lives into a universal container, we are witness to their new creation and merged sands of time. So we're going to go around the circle. And when I come to you, you're just going to say, I release in whatever color you chose. So we'll start again with V. So you're going to say, I release the color of your earth for the unification of all beings on the planet.
Now,
Yep. No.
I release blue for the unification of all humans on the planet.
Yes, thank you. And Heather?
I release brown for the unification of all beings on earth.
And Lynn?
I release pink for the unification of all beings on earth.
Thank you. And Michael Ann?
I release deep brown for the unification of all beings on earth.
And Brooks?
I release black, the unification of all beings on earth.
And Nancy?
I release lavender for the unification of all beings on earth.
And Glenda?
Release gray and white for the unification of all beings on earth.
And John?
I have dark brown sand, and I release that for the unification of all beings on our planet.
Thank you. And Sig? Oh, I forgot Jessica, sorry. Jessica.
I release the light gray with a hint of purple for the unification of all peoples.
Okay, and Sig?
I release green for the unification of all beings on the planet.
And imagine that we have a large vessel and that each of us has poured that color in, creating a tapestry of all the aspects of Earth. And with that intention, that in doing that, we're signifying how all of us could be in unity with one another if we could get to that place where we're seeing that heart-centered energy and we're intending to build. And I think that's one of the most important visions we can have moving forward is building the new earth. We've seen the destruction, and now we need to, restructure it. So we're going to be making a lasting commitment to share the rest of our journeys with the souls of this plane in need of spiritual succor. And that's true for every one of us. We all do spiritual work. And whether that's large or small work, everything we do can feed other people that are in need of that. And so I'm giving that to you as a task. So this is symbolized by the pouring of the materials. Each of you comes to this tonight with your strengths, with your vulnerabilities and your histories. And as individuals, you're each beautiful people. And I know that you're open to sharing that beauty. So where are we at? So I think that we're good with Earth. And then we're going to do a little thing with breathing for air. So I'm going to invite you to just get comfortable and place your hands on your mid-abdomen in the sacral center. We're going to take 3 deep breaths into the count of 8. We're going to hold for 8. We're going to exhale for 8, and we're going to rest for 8, and then we'll take another one. So on the count of 3, breathing as far as you can into that belly. 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Hold. Release. And hold, rest for 8. Breathe in. Hold. And release. And rest for 8. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. And rest for 8. And then just focus on your natural breath as almost a figure 8 or the infinity sign, effortlessly breathing in and breathing out. And that breath serves as our air. And we appreciate it when breathing is easy. And when we struggle at times, it can be more frightening. So we just simply follow that infinity symbol of breathing in and breathing out and honoring the breath. So as we begin the World Peace Meditation, I'm just going to invite you to substitute words that perhaps you might get stuck on. Some people don't like the term God or goddess or something. So substitute whatever works for you. There are many names for that source. Some call it Great Mystery, Great Creator, Allah, all kinds of different beings. So I invite you to close your eyes and imagine that you're out under the starry night with the full moon, and there's a good place for you to rest. Maybe it's an outcropping, maybe it's a bench by the beach. Just find a place that you're comfortable in and listen. And these are the words of John Randolph Price, who started this tradition. In the beginning, God, Goddess, all that is, created the heaven and the earth and said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Now is the time of a new beginning, and we are co-creators with God, Goddess, all that is. It is a new heaven that comes as the good will of God is expressed on earth through me. It is the kingdom of light, love, peace, and understanding. And I am doing my part to reveal its reality. I begin with me. I am a living soul. And the Spirit of God, Goddess, all that is, dwells in me as me. I and God, Goddess, all that is, are one. And all that God, Goddess, all that is, has is mine. In truth, I am the sonship of God, Goddess, all that is. What is true of me is true of everyone. For God, Goddess, all that is, and all is God, Goddess, all that is. I see only the Spirit of God, Goddess, all that is in every soul, and to every man, woman, and child on earth I say, I love you. You are me. You are my holy self. I now open my heart and let the pure essence of unconditional love pour out. And as I do, I see a golden light radiating from the center of my being. And I feel its divine vibration in and through, above and below me. I am one with the light. I am filled with the light. I am illumined by the light. I am the light of the world. With purpose of mind, I send forth the light. I let the radiance go before me to join other lights. And I know that this is happening around the world as we close this year. I see the merging lights, and there is now one light. We are the light of the world. The one light of love, peace, and understanding is moving, and it flows across the face of the earth, touching and illuminating every soul in the shadow of the illusion. And where there was darkness, there is now the light of beauty. And the radiance grows, permeating and saturating every form of life. There is only the vibration of one perfect life now. All the kingdoms of the heaven respond, and the planet is alive with light and love. There is total oneness, and in this oneness we speak the word. Let the sense of separation dissolve. Let mankind be returned to oneness. Let peace come forth in every mind. Let love flow forth from every heart. Let forgiveness reign in every soul. And let understanding be the common bond. And now from the light of the world, the one presence and power of the universe responds. The activity of God, Goddess, all that is healing and harmonizing planet Earth. Omnipotence is made manifest. I'm seeing the salvation of the planet before my very eyes, as all false beliefs and error patterns are dissolved. The sense of separation is no more. The healing has taken place, and the world is restored to sanity. This is the beginning of peace on earth and goodwill toward all. As love flows forth from every heart, forgiveness reigns in every soul, and all hearts and all minds are one in perfect understanding. And as we intend it, so it is done. And then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. And for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of the heavens from God, Goddess, all that is, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice from the throne saying, "Behold, the dwelling of God. God is all that is with humankind. God is all that is, will dwell with them, and they shall be the tribe of God. God is all that is, and the Holy Trinity shall be with them. God is all that is, will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more, neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore. For the former things have passed away." And the one who was sitting upon the throne said, "Behold, I make all things new." As you hold our earth planet in your hands, which I'm inviting you now to imagine that you have the earth between your hands and that you're feeling all parts of the earth, turning the globe, blessing each continent and each body of water, sending a healing intention to all people of earth. See a peace pole being erected in every place where contention has been evidenced, and see a wave of deep peace covering the earth. And continue holding the earth and imagining that every place you look, you are healing the earth. And imagine deep peace is taking prevalence. Turning the globe until you feel more places that need the peace. And finally, set an intention that wherever peace is possible, peace will prevail. And where there is contention, there will be a pathway to peace. And that as we create that intention and that vision, and we see Mother Earth restored to this beautiful paradise, let us know that it is possible. And let us affirm that it was intended that every being, every sentient being on Earth should thrive. And so it is. And now we're going to get our glass of wine or water or whatever we brought so we can toast one another for the new year. And so whether you say L'chaim or Nostravia or Alla Vida or good luck or
Asante.
oh yes, good, okay. To the new year and to a beautiful restructuring of the planet.
New year, new beginning, new
Yes,
joy.
Age of Aquarius.
yes, beautiful. Just shout them out. To each of you for joining tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for putting this together.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. And so how many of you know the universal blessing from the Ghandi Foundation?
I don't know. I might know it. What did it say? A few words.
All right. Okay, so we're going to do this together. I hope you can see me. All right, so you're going to take your hands and put your palms up and say, I offer you peace.
I offer you peace.
You put your right hand over your left. I offer you friendship.
I offer you friendship.
I offer you friendship.
Put your hands on your heart and bring it out. I offer you love.
I offer you love.
I offer you love.
Hands behind the ears. I hear your needs.
I hear your needs.
I feel your feelings.
I feel
your feelings.
I see your beauty.
I see your beauty.
My wisdom flows from a higher source.
My wisdom
flows from a higher source.
I honor that source in you.
I honor that source in you.
Let us work and pray and play together.
Let us work and play and pray together.
Isn't that a great blessing?
You've got to send me that.
Yep. Well, whatever you'd like to
messenger.
have, you know, feel free to ask me for it and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It's not a
I like
problem
that.
whatsoever. Yeah. So I just want to wish each of you a bountiful new year, a blessed new year, a sense of carrying out the work you came here to do, and loving yourself and loving others and shining your light on all that you encounter when you can, and when you can't, stay home until you can. So I'm really delighted that all of you joined me, and I know Valerie, you're a little late, but it's nice to see your face.
Thank you.
So if anyone else wanted to share anything, that's cool. You're welcome to. Go ahead, Glenda.
Was that Eric Whitaker with his virtual choir from around the world singing peace on TV or something?
Yeah.
I love his compositions and his idea of getting how many thousands of people from around the world to sing a song together. It's incredible.
Absolutely. And this World Peace Meditation we did tonight, it'll begin in waves all around the planet tomorrow morning. But like I said, not everybody's brave enough to do the 4 a.m. on the West Coast or the 5 a.m. my time. I got introduced to it when I was in Atlanta, Georgia. And at that time, 7 a.m. seemed early to me. But it's done every New Year's Eve morning. And it's a wonderful way to move into the new year. You know, just thoughtful and peaceful and imagining that peace is possible. And I think that's the thing we have to hold on to. In spite of what we see out there, what we see and hear and project is what's going to bring us all together.
When I was living in Sacramento, Spiritual Life Center used to have all-night meditation on New Year's Eve. It was fabulous. You'd go there for prayer and meditation and songs, and then
right, yes,
like it was a soup that they served us at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Really, yeah, it was great. It was great. It was.
Thank you. Lynn, you wanted to share a book.
I was just wanted to hold this up and show. I just was given this book by John Randall Price.
Right,
and so it's like, oh my, and
I know.
it's wonderful.
Yeah. He is on the other side now, you know, but he is the one that started it. He and his wife, another group of people. And I just, instead of going out and partying and all that stuff, I think to just think about the year that we're leaving and the year we're entering and what we want. It's not, I don't set goals anymore because that would be a joke to me. I just, you know, I let life unfold because also I'm older, so that helps. But and besides which, if you make resolutions, you know, January 1st, and you're not successful, well, February 12th, you've got Chinese New Year, and then Nowruz comes next. So you've got plenty of times to have a new year. So
I've had the same New Year's resolution for about 40 years. Laugh my ass off. That's it.
Slap your head up. Oh, good. John understands that. A great
You
sense
can't
of humor.
lose.
No, it's true. You know, and I think the older I get, the more I find things humorous and the more I'm present. And that's one of the gifts of elder passage, that you know there's less time ahead of you. And so the little detritus and the things that upset us kind of just push aside because it's just not worth it, you know. But I didn't always feel that way, but that's okay.
So I have a poem that I wrote.
Yeah. Is that Brooks?
Yes, I have,
Okay,
a poem that I wrote last night.
Would you share it with us?
Sure, thank you.
That would be lovely.
Nearly over, this time thing when we see the full moon swing into some more westward wise woman drift. When jumping across boundaries is the lift, taking tiny atom bundles like me along. Anybody willing to raise voice in song in praise of her constant present grace, expressed each day by showing her face. I sit on the sand and call out my mirth at winter morning's certain passing over this earth.
Thank you, Brooks. That was very nice, very nice. Thank you. So did anyone else want to share anything, or should we all say good night and just be peaceful? Keep in deep peace.
I'm grateful you did this. I really needed it.
Oh, good. I'm glad, Heather. Thank you.
Thank you, Amari, again.
You're welcome.
Such beautiful.
It's my delight to do ceremonies.
I would have delighted to have been here on time, but I didn't correct the time change.
Oh, right, Valerie. Well, I'm glad you stopped in anyway. So.
Happy New Year to every one of you, and peace be with you.
Yes, yes.
Happy New Year's and peace be with you.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
All the best in 2021.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Good night, folks. Bye. I'm just checking my thing here. Okay, Sig, I've got it. Okay. Good to see everybody. Oops, looking for paper to write on. Um, Okay, very good. Okay. So I should stop the recording.